Guys, my freaking light just broke. My light is broken. My light that I used to film is broken. It's one thing after the damn other in this house. It's just one thing after the damn other. I'm gonna have to film in natural light for the foreseeable future until I get a new one. Hey guys, I know I said I would post once a week and then I've missed 2 weeks. Okay, I know I hold myself accountable. I don't know what's happened there. It just happened. We're gonna move past it. Okay, we're starting from now. I have a whole list of videos that I want to make. I've not been slacking, okay, behind the scenes. I haven't been planning my videos. I'm not gonna lie guys, I've been hooked on Assassin's Creed. That game has had me in a chokehold for like the past 2 weeks. Every time I have time to myself, guess what I'm doing? Playing Assassin's Creed. I guess a leopard doesn't change its stripes. Wait, a leopard doesn't change its spots? That's the one, right? There you are seeing my hair in full glory. I am currently growing out the so this part here that you see, that was my natural hair colour. This bit here was all my natural colour, and these bits that you see that are ginger is where the black hair dye was on my hair, because I, contrary to belief, I didn't have naturally black hair. I just loved piling on black hair dye after black hair dye after black hair dye after black hair dye every month when like a little root would show. Okay, so everything's breaking on me. I'm ginger, half blonde. It's gonna take a while to grow out. Let's move on. Also, I broke a nail. Can you see this? I got acrylics done for like the first time in, oh, I shouldn't shake my leg like that, sorry. I got acrylics done for the first time in like years, and I was like feeling myself with them. I was like, oh, new fresh set, you know, I'm like one of the girlies now. Tell me why I broke my nail off. These are my natural nails. They look terrible underneath, by the way. I had to go, and they're longer, but at what cost? Because this one is stuck to my nail and you can't see it, but it's lifting. Today's topic of conversation. Why do I always do that? Like I'm gonna put it on the screen. Girl, we're not putting it on the screen. Today's topic is people pleasing. Now, I'm a people pleaser, okay? I always have been a people pleaser. I blame my upbringing, because being a child, I was always taught to please others before myself. Obviously, I'm actually doing a video on this because I want to talk about it more in depth, but I grew up with I don't know how to put it like politely, because despite her differences, I love my mum very deeply. I still do, even though she's in heaven. I love my mum like more than anyone on the whole earth. She was like my everything when she was alive. But she was an alcoholic and she'd have issues, substance abuse issues, that put her own needs before mine as a child and anyone really that was in her proximity. She had 6 kids, okay? Best believe that bottle was becoming before all of us, and obviously I went to go live with my nan, and love my nan, she's obviously got dementia, she's in a care home. Love my nan, also an alcoholic. also an alcoholic. So basically my whole life, apart from the only really stable parental figure I think I had in my life was my step granddad. He basically taught me everything I know, you know, how to ride a bike, how to tie my shoelaces, basically everything that I needed, how to be a kind person. He taught me how to be respectful, okay? This man like practically raised me like no other adult in my life did, and I love him very deeply. But he worked away, so he would be gone like weekdays, and then weekends he would come home. So as like a child teenager, I basically spent a majority of my time looking after my nan, who was also an alcoholic, and my mum, so I'd like flip-flop. So I was court-ordered, obviously we all got taken from my mum quite young. I was court-ordered not to stay with my mum. I wasn't allowed to, but I really loved my mum like so deeply, and I was very lucky in a sense because my nan was my mum's mum, so she would let me like go around there, and we'd like go around there every Wednesday, and eventually she let me stay over after like the age of 6, I think it was. Actually, funny story, went off topic, but when I was like, I think I was like 4, I think I was like 5, I was around like school age. This is how much I loved my mum, like genuinely. She could do no wrong in my eyes, even when she did wrong. But my nan I asked my nan the day before, I was like, can we walk to my mum's house, because I want to walk. Like, she's just thinking, oh, she just don't want to get the bus today, yeah, we'll walk. No, I was memorising the walk from my nan's house to my mum's house. And then that morning, the next morning, I woke up at, like, before my stepgranddad and my nan got up, 5 a.m-ish, this is before he started working away, and I got myself dressed in my school uniform. I walked myself out the door. I walked from my nan's to my mum's house, which was quite a long walk, lots of rows in between. And I knocked on her door and she answered it, and it was her and her like boyfriend at the time, who was also an alcoholic, that opened the door. She was obviously drinking at the time, and she's like, what the well, she didn't swear at me, she didn't swear unless she was drinking, but this morning she didn't swear. She was like, what are you doing here? I was like, I just want you to take me to school, that's all I wanted. I just wanted her to take me to school. Bit of a law drop there, but anyway, my step-granddad's boss at the time actually saw me that morning walking and had already called my step-granddad, so he turned up like 2 minutes later after I'd got there already. My mum had made me a drink and I was sat there and I was like, I just want her to walk me to school. I just want her to take me to school. I just, like, as a child, I like craved normality, I guess, because like in my head all my friends had their mums and their dads, and I like didn't have that. Like, she, like, honestly, when she would, like, some days she'd surprise me and come pick me up from school and it would be like the best thing ever, and I'd be like boasting to all my friends like, that's my mum, because usually it was my nan picking me up. And although like she tried her best, although like someone was there for me, it wasn't my mum, and that really hit me hard. There was even times she'd be like, yeah, I'll come pick you up, and then she'd get lost in like her drinking, and that would be like absolutely devastating to little 8-year-old me. When my mum wouldn't come pick me up, I'd get so excited, oh my god, I'm going to my mum's now, because I used to stay over like every Wednesday, and sometimes she'd forget about me because she'd be drinking, and all I ever wanted growing up was my mum. That's all I wanted. I just wanted my mum, and I wanted normal experiences. Anyway, that was an off-topic story. This is why my videos are so long. Anyway, back to people please. So from a very young age, I was taught to please the adults before I pleased myself, even with like emotions. Like my nan and my step-granddad, although he's a very amazing person and he did like the most for me, he still does now, he isn't very emotional, like in that sense. The only person who was very, very emotional with me and like satisfied those emotional needs that I had as a kid was my mum when she was sober and she wasn't drinking, and she's the only person that was like that soft with me. My nan was opposite. It was like, you know, if you're gonna cry, go do it in your room on your own and soothe yourself. Like she didn't do cuddles, she didn't do kisses, she didn't do soothing. I didn't get any of that from her. That was all my mum when she was sober. When she was drunk, it was a completely different story. From a very young age, I was taught to please the adults in my life before I pleased myself, and keep them happy to keep the peace. Because if I didn't keep the peace, anything could happen. You know, my nan was not a very nice drunk. My mum was a bit of a live wire. She was just a mess. she was just a mess when she was drunk. So I was always taught to please them before myself. Now this goes into my adulthood, because I became a people pleaser. I would say yes to things I didn't want to say yes to just to keep other people satisfied. I would give people money just because I'd buy things for people just because I wanted their approval as a person. I would act certain ways in school that weren't me just so I could be accepted by some people, because I didn't want to be the outcast, because I was already bullied to an extent. So I didn't want to be the outcast in school, so I'd behave in certain ways to keep people around me that weren't good for me. I had a lot of friends, I say friends that have only wanted me around for what I can provide for them. And that's the problem with people pleasing. I feel like when you're a people pleaser, you attract the wrong people into your life, because the only people who ever want you around is the people who benefit off of what you give them. So like, say money, you know, like, oh, you're a giving person, so you're giving money, time, all these things, and that's all they want you for. I've had so many friends like that. Let me give you an example. When just after my mum had passed away, I met back up with an old friend of mine who I hadn't seen in years, and I worked at the time, so I had money coming in, and he didn't, so he kept me around because it was like, oh, she'll pay for the drinks, she'll pay for us to go. I was only 17 as well, and I was hitting up these nightclubs. Alright, just lost my mum. I don't even know how I got in. That was like, he got me in. I don't know how he got me in, but the only reason he was getting me in is because I would pay for his drinks, I would fund his lifestyle, and it's the only reason he kept me around. And the minute I stepped back and was like, wait, this is not right, are you gonna do this for me? Like, you're not doing this for me, I'm just doing it for you, I'm just giving and giving and giving and getting nothing in return. And our friendship died. Our friendship died. Let me give you some more examples. I had another friend, and to be honest, this one friend, I basically grew up with her from a very young age, like from the time I was a child. Went to big school. God, you can tell I have almost 10-year-old. Went to secondary school with her, and her mum didn't like me. God knows why. I think my mum and her mum like went to school together. And they didn't like each other. She hated my mum for whatever reason. I don't know what went on when they were teenagers, but they went to school together. And her mum actually bullied my mum at school, so it was a bit of a weird thing. But we were really close, like growing up in primary school. Secondary school hit. Her mum decided she didn't like me. She absolutely terrorised me and bullied me for a year. And I'm a very loyal person, okay? When I have a friend, especially one that I've known for that long, back then, because now... best believe I don't care how long I've known you, I'm cutting you off if you're treating me like this. But anyway, she bullied me for a year at school, roughly a year. Then I went to Holland with the school, and I befriended like her friend, and she got crazy jealous at first, and then she was like, actually I'm gonna like make friends with her. And she came up to me and she apologized, and straight away I was like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. Doesn't matter that you've like traumatized me the past year, it's whatever, it's fine, I forgive you. I did have a lot of love for her. I still have a lot of love for her. We're not friends now, but just from like the history that we had together, I can't really say that I've known many people for that long and not and been close to them. But anyway, I was in that sense, that was my people pleaser coming out, because I was like, yeah, that was my people pleaser coming out, because I was like, I'm not just pleasing myself here, I'm pleasing you. There came like times like she wasn't a very great friend to me. She would say weird comments, you know, just putting me down, little things that would happen, and it built up over time. I just wanted to be a good friend to her because I know she'd like been through a lot and I'd been through a lot, so all I wanted to do was like be a good friend to her. So every time she'd say a hurtful comment, or any time she would hurt my feelings in general, something would happen, I would just forgive her. Like I wouldn't vocally say anything to her. So many incidents happened over time where she really hurt my feelings, and like things happened that should not have been happening, and I should have called it out on the spot, but I didn't, because I didn't want to cause like a drama. I didn't want to cause trouble, which is obviously something I've adapted from childhood, where I've had to keep the peace around the adults in my life. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I look so ridiculous with this on my head, I look like a telly something. Eventually, when we did like have our big falling out and we weren't friends anymore, so all these things happened. Like she hurt my feelings quite a lot over the years of us being friends. She said some hurtful things, she did some hurtful things, and because I didn't bring it up to her at the time, and I didn't say that's not right, why are you treating me like this, as the years went on, things were forgotten by her. I didn't call her out for it, I just went along my merry little way. And eventually, when we did have a falling out, which has caused us to not be friends now, I said to her, like, I don't think you respect me, all these things have happened. I brought up things that had happened in our past, years ago even, like things that I'd been holding on to but I'd never brought up yet. And she was like, when did that happen? I don't remember that happening. Well, I do, because it hurt my damn feelings. I do remember it, but my point is, because I didn't bring it up at the time and I just let these things slide, she hadn't even registered in her head that it was wrong. And that's what people pleasing does. It makes people not register that things aren't right and how they're treating you isn't right. And if you keep that up, then they'll just eventually go on their merry way. They forget anything even happened, and you just let it slide. So they're just going to be like, it's whatever. Like, that didn't happen. Like, and they're just going to either gaslight themselves into believing that it didn't happen, or they're going to be like, yeah, whatever. I didn't do those things. But in reality, those things happened, and she didn't remember it. And it was my fault because I did not address these things when they should have been addressed. I did not bring it up and say, that's not right, why are you treating me like this? I just let it slide. I just kept quiet, and I shouldn't have done that, because in the long run, not only has it destroyed our friendship because I grew to resent her over time, it also taught her that she can just cross my boundaries and I'm not going to speak up for myself. So when I did finally speak up for myself after the years and years of all this stuff, she turned around and was like, that never happened. You need help. Go get help. That's what people pleasing does. People pleasing will get you the worst. Sorry, I keep shaking my leg. It's freaking ADHD. People pleasing will get you the worst people around you. It will make the people in your life lose respect for you, because when there is a boundary and you've put it in place, but it's like, say you've already been a people pleaser, you're a people pleaser now, you start putting boundaries in place for these people, either A, they're going to disappear, B, they're going to start an argument because they don't like that you're putting in boundaries now, or C, it's going to cause, pretty much, I just said the same thing, it's going to cause some like boundaries to be broken. Like, they're going to break your boundaries because they're going to be like, oh, she's not going to care anyway, she's never cared before, so I'll just do it again. No, we got to let that go, girl. We got to let that go. The only person you should be pleasing in your life is yourself. Family is another thing. I absolutely love my family and I would do anything for them, but there's been times where I've had to pull myself away from them and be like, actually, this isn't good for me because you're like hurting my feelings, you're crossing my boundaries, and I'm not going to stand for that anymore. And that's what I do now. I do put boundaries in place, but not like how you think I would, because I should really be vocalizing it and being like, that's not right, you need to stop that, but I don't. I just remove myself from the situation if my boundaries are being crossed like numerous times. I'm gonna be honest, I do give people a lot of chances. I'm just that sort of girly. I believe that people somehow, I don't know why, don't take my advice on that. People don't, honestly, they don't deserve second chances. I don't know why I'm like that. I just am. No bitch. Put the other chance back down. You don't want to be giving them multiple chances. So yeah, how to drop people, how to drop people how to drop people pleasing tendencies. You need to center yourself. You need to make yourself the main priority. You need to stop giving a shit so much about what other people think of you, because I think that's what the root of the problem is that a lot of people who do suffer with people pleasing tendencies probably didn't have their needs met as a child or needs met as a teenager, and that's dragged into their adulthood. So like anyone who does come into their life now, friends, you'll be like, oh, I have to please this person so that they'll stay in my life so that I can be loved. But you don't need to do that. Like, you don't need to do that. The only person you should be wanting approval from is yourself. You only need self-approval in this life. The only people that need to be pleased in your life are you. Like, no one else needs to have your approval. Like, you don't need to be approved by other people. People are just people. You know, like I said in my past video, everyone's the main character of their own life. Like, that's just how it is. Like, you just have to be and show up for yourself in the way that others won't, because the only person who's ever going to do that for you is yourself. The only person you can rely on ever is yourself. People pleasing gets you nowhere. People pleasing gets your boundaries crossed. It gets your needs unmet because you're not putting in boundaries, so you're not receiving what you want. You grow to resent people over years and years of like this shit, and then like eventually you're like, what the fuck, I don't like this, and then you like lash out at people, or you like grow to be angry. That's another thing. I grew to be very angry. I'm healed from it now. I'm not an angry person anymore. I don't like being angry now. I'm a very peaceful person now. But a few years ago, I was a very, very, very angry person, and that's around the same time I cut a lot of people out of my life because I had the confidence to do that. And I'm not mad at that version of me, because like, yes, I was an angry little bitch, but I somehow, that anger gave me the strength to do everything that I didn't want to do years prior to that, and things that I just let like happen which shouldn't have been. And I did address these things over years and years of my life, from my teenage years to my young adulthood, everything, and I brought it all up to these people, and eventually it ended our friendships, relationships, you know, whatever, families, members, you know, but it had to be done. And although now I've grown and I'm quite peaceful, actually saying that, maybe you need to have a lash out. No, I'm joking. You don't need to have a lash out sesh, but I did, and that's how I got to the point where I cut everyone off and said, I don't want this anymore, guys, you're on your own. and life's been a lot peaceful since. It's allowed me to be a more peaceful person, because I definitely wasn't that before. I was very angry, and that's what will happen if you continue to be a people pleaser, is you grow to have this resentment for like other people, and it builds and builds and builds and builds, because the more you people please, the more your boundaries get crossed, the more people disrespect you, the more these things happen, and you just let it slide and you don't say anything. And then there comes a time where you do bring it up and they're like, actually that didn't happen, but it did happen, and you're just like, what is going on? And you lose your mind, you get very angry, because it's just like, what the hell? Like, that's what will happen if you keep people pleasing. I would say putting boundaries in place now is very, very hard at first, but it, in the long run, it's worth it, because it saves you from becoming the angry little piece of shit I was and it saves you from being walked all over by other people. It gives you the ability to have the right people in your life, because when you're people pleasing, you're not accepting the right people into your life. The only people who will want you around are people who are benefiting from you. So if you shut that down, yes, your circle will get smaller, and yes, you have to feel comfortable in that, because you might have a big circle now, but you're going to have a small one later. But that is just how it is, and eventually, years down the line, you will feel so much more peaceful within yourself, and you can work on building that self-love for yourself and moving past being the little people-pleasing bitch that you were. Okay, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. And eventually people will come into your life, or maybe you've already got people in your life that are this person for you, and you just needed to weed out the weeds, you know, to get to them. But some people will stick around. They're your true people. Some people might say some shit, I don't know, start arguments with you. Just let it go. Tell them you put a boundary in place, they've broken it, cut it off. Yeah, I don't know what more I can say about it. Do you know what I want to do next, guys? Do you know what I want to do next? If you have any comments or questions about this, please drop it in my comment section. I will reply and give you a more in-depth reply. Sometimes I feel like I don't cover everything that I want in my videos, and I go back and I'm like, God's sake, why the fuck didn't I say this? So if you have any questions, there's my comment section. Tell you what I want to make a video on next. The Hat Man. The fucking Hat Man. The Hat Man, guys. Do you want to hear about my paranormal experiences? Because I do. I want to talk about it. I might stay up the night I make the video, shitting myself, because he scares. All of these things scare me. But I'm kind of up for it. So next week, guys. Next week, paranormal experiences. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Hat Man. That's been my G since day one. Okay, you're not ready for this story. Anyway, I will see you guys next week, for real this time. Not a lie, I will be here next week. Pinky promise. Okay. See you guys then. Bye bye. I look so insane with this. This is the, by the way, guys, this is the vision. Okay, like I love just like a, hell yeah. It's giving like Marilyn Monroe, just without like the ginger ends. Let's just get rid of those. Yeah, this is the vision. Anyway, yeah, that's why I have that thing in my hair, because my fringe right now is all that's working for me whilst I have ginger hair. I'm just gonna pop that right back. That looks fly as fuck though. She's looking good. Fringe is gonna look good tomorrow. Me and Sal will see you next week. And I will film during the day next time, because it's getting dark. It's like 9 o'clock. It's getting dark. And I need a new light. Anyway, peace out, bitches.